Good evening. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Assam and West Bengal kick off the over month-long poll process in 5 states. Both states headed for record voting. Mehbooba Mufti takes oath as the first woman and 13th Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. 22 ministers and Deputy Chief Minister BJP's Nirmal Singh also sworn in. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley pitches for a low-interest regime, says industry is fighting a battle of credibility and should adopt a positive and ethical approach towards bad debts. Congress leader A.K. Antony and Naga People's Front leader K.G. Kenyam take oath as new Rajya Sabha members. And Panama Papers take the world by storm along with names of Xi Jinping, Nawaz Sharif and Lionel Messi. List of 500 Indians with offshore accounts revealed. Well, first up, let's get you all the Assembly election-related news in our special segment, Verdict 2016. Now, 65 of the 126 Assembly constituencies in Assam went to the polls today, deciding the fate of 539 candidates. Several heavyweights, including Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi and BJP's Chief Ministerial candidate Sarbananda Sonowal's fate was sealed today.
The first of the two-phase Assam Assembly election began at 7 a.m. on Monday amid tight security, with 65 of the state's total 126 constituencies going to the polls. An electorate of over 95 lakh, including 46 lakh women, were eligible to exercise their franchise in 12,190 polling booths to decide the fate of 539 candidates. As many as 1,241 polling stations were identified as critical polling stations, 1,992 as hypersensitive and 3,739 as sensitive. Security was tightened across the state, with the Indo-Bangla border along the Barak Valley's Karimganj district being sealed. In all, 535 companies of the security forces were deployed in the 65 constituencies. Out of them, 433 companies were central forces and 102 from the state police. The first phase witnessed mostly a direct contest between the ruling Congress and the BJP-AGP-BPF alliance, though the AIUDF put up candidates in 27 constituencies. The Congress is contesting all 65 constituencies, the BJP 54 and its alliance partners AGP in 11 and BPF in 3. The AIUDF, another important contender, has put up candidates in 27, while the CPI and CPIM in 10 each. The CPI-MLL in 6, along with 60 others of unrecognized parties and 13 independents.
I voted for the first time and I'm very happy. This is a very important thing to do, and I wish everybody do it. And it's my vote and I decide.
This election has difference. It is not a wave. It is a very sincere election. Last 15 years, everybody will wanted to change the whole picture of the government policy.
Prominent Congress candidates in the fray were Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi from Tithabur, Speaker of the outgoing Assembly Pranab Gogoi from Shivsagar, and former Union Minister and prominent T-Tribe leader Paban Singh Gathovar.
People want a change. I also want change. Assam should be go faster development, provide employment also. Everybody wants change. Who wants to remain static? I am fighting not against center. I want to cooperate with the center, but Modi's injustice. So long he will go on denying. So long he will go do injustice. I will fight against injustice, not against central.
The BJP star candidates in the first phase include Union Minister and party's Chief Ministerial candidate Sarbananda Sonowal from Majoli and Jorhat Lok Sabha MP Kamakya Prasad Tasa from Tithabur.
It is a unique place in the state of Assam, and that's why, but they have a lot of problems, difficulties, the lack of communication infrastructure facilities, and many where they're deprived of the modern route. So in the near future, we'll have to take all possible measures to make Majuli growth, develop, and also visible in the map of the world.
While the Congress looks forward to retaining power for the fourth successive term, the BJP has called for a parivartan to usher in development. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And for more on the Assembly elections, let's go across to our correspondent Vishal there, who's stationed live at Jorhat in Assam right now. And Vishal, it seems we are headed for a record turnout. What have you been seeing all day? And as far as news from across the state is concerned, what have you been hearing about the polls in Assam?
Well, yes, you're right, Ishan. Indeed, we're just coming back from the Assam-Nagaland border in Jorhat district, Mariani Assembly constituency, wherein we could see long queues even after 5:30 p.m., 5 p.m. There were still people, waiting for their turn. Although the time for polling came to an end at 4 p.m., that clearly means that nobody was allowed inside the polling centers, polling booths after 4 p.m. But those who had already entered till 4 p.m. were allowed to cast their vote, and that, number was so high that till around half an hour ago, there were still long queues of people. A clear indication that people have come out in large numbers to cast their vote. And if you do the comparison with the previous elections, figures, we just spoke to the Deputy Commissioner and Returning Officer for the Jorhat district as well. And his tentative figures were more than what it was in the last elections. It was somewhere around 76-77% in the previous elections. This time around, the Election Commission authorities say that tentatively as of now, the percentage of voters in this area specifically in Jorhat district, which has both the VIP constituencies, that's Majuli and Titaba, the percentage is hovering somewhere around 79-80%, which is again likely to go up when the final figures will be with us in the next 1.5 to 2 hours.
All right, Vishal, there will keep a track of the story for us. Thanks very much, Vishal, for joining us now with that update. Now, polling was also held in West Bengal. 18 constituencies spread across 3 western districts of West Midnapur, Bankura and Purulia went to the polls amid tight security at 7 a.m. The fate of 133 candidates was sealed a short while ago. Let's take a look at how West Bengal polled during Phase 1.
18 constituencies of West Bengal Assembly went to polls on Monday. The constituencies are in the Jungle Mahal area and the Maoist-affected districts of Purulia, West Midnapur and Bankura. Polling booths opened amid tight security at 7 a.m. in the 18 constituencies, 9 in Purulia district, 3 in Bankura and 6 in West Midnapur. A multi-layered security ring was put in place around the constituencies to ensure free and fair polling.
वोट जरूरी है हमारे लिए, देश के लिए, जो अच्छा काम करेगा, जो अच्छा ही करेगा, उसके लिए वोट जरूरी है।
हाँ, दिया है, इधर वोट दिया, किंतु हमको तो कोई सुविधा नहीं मिलता है। हाँ, सरकार से सुविधा चाहिए हम लोग का।
An electorate of 41 lakh were eligible to exercise their franchise in 4,945 polling booths to decide the fate of 133 candidates in 18 constituencies. 172 companies of the Central Paramilitary Forces were pressed into action to ensure smooth polling. Voting began at 7 a.m. in all the 18 constituencies and came to an end at 4 p.m. in West Midnapur and Bankura and went out at 6 p.m. in Purulia. Among major candidates in the fray are State Minister Sukumar Hansa of the Trinamool Congress from Jhargram and CPIM's Pulin Bihari Bhaske contesting from Gopi Ballavpur.
In our electoral system, the vote is an important thing. So we have to give vote so that we can choose the candidate who will go to the Vidhan Sabha and they will represent us.
There will be 6 more days of polling for the 294 assembly seats in the state. The last day of polling is on May 5th. Counting of votes will take place on the 19th of May. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And let's go across to our correspondent Pranav Goswami, who is in Purulia right now to get the latest as far as the polling figures are concerned, Pranav, and also the fact that these were Maoist-dominated areas. So as far as the turnout and incidents of violence are concerned, were there any?
West Bengal has always recorded a very high turnout, and in this round of polling also, though we haven't received the exact figures, but till 6 p.m. It is expected that around 85% voting turnout is being recorded, and final figures will be coming very soon. But this is a very good sign because this region has been a Maoist affected area, and this has been very disturbed area. But for in the last few years, some peace has returned in this region. As far as political issues are concerned, this entire region is underdeveloped, though Mamata Banerjee is claiming that some development work has taken place which never happened during left regime. But then also opposition parties are saying that there are no employment opportunities for youth in this particular region, and there are other the people are deprived with basic facilities in this area. So there are issues, but as far as the political equation is concerned, in 2011 election, TMC won 9 seats out of 18 seats in this region, and Congress won 3 seats. But this time, the equation is different because CPM and Congress are contesting this election together. So this is going to be very interesting that whether TMC will repeat its performance of 2011, or CPM and Congress will get more seats. As far as BJP is concerned, they are also trying their luck in this region, but there are very little scope for BJP. This direct fight is between TMC and left Congress alliance.
All right, so we'll have to wait and watch as to how the first phase of polling really affects the next few phases that are there in West Bengal. Pranav Goswami will be keeping a track of the story for us. Thanks so much for joining us for now, Pranav. Well, that's in our special on Verdict 2016. Do join us at 6:30 p.m. today, where we'll be breaking down the entire first phase of polling in Assam and West Bengal as well. Now, some other news stories from around the country, and in Jammu and Kashmir, there's a new Chief Minister. People's Democratic Party Chief Mehbooba Mufti was today sworn in as the Chief Minister there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today extended his best wishes to the new government.
A historic day for Jammu and Kashmir. Mehbooba Mufti sworn as the state's first woman Chief Minister. Taking the oath of office along with her were 22 ministers, including Deputy Chief Minister BJP's Nirmal Singh.
See, my advice is simple. Follow Mufti Saab's agenda, which has been finalized by both the parties. Develop the state of Jammu Kashmir. Take care of the people of all regions and all religions.
The entire country is moving forward at a very fast track on a development journey led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and all of us are keen that the state of Jammu and Kashmir should not be left out of this development journey, and I'm sure the present government which is taken over today will live up to the development plank.
इसमें कोई शक नहीं कि मुफ्ती साहब निजी तौर पर मैं मानता हूं कि हमारे दोस्त थे, तो महबूबा जो है वह काफी सक्रिय यानी उसकी पार्टी के नेता है.
VIPs who attended the function included former Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah and Union Ministers Venkaiah Naidu and Jitendra Singh. PDP MP Tariq Hamid Kara and Congress boycotted the ceremony.
Congress party's decision to boycott this oath-taking ceremony is, I consider it very unfortunate. Oath-taking ceremony is a moment of joy for democracy, democratic lovers. They should not have opted to boycott this.
मैंडेट का सम्मान तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी खुद ही नहीं कर रही. भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जिन मुद्दों पर चुनाव लड़ा था और जिस तरह से उन्होंने पीडीपी से सरकार बनाई है, वो तो मैंडेट के बिल्कुल विरुद्ध और विपरीत है.
A law graduate, 56-year-old Mehbooba entered politics in 1996 by joining Congress along with her father. Since then, she emerged as a dominant force in the politics with a grassroots connect. A mother of 2 daughters, she acquired the image of a fiery leader, winning her first assembly seat victor as a Congress candidate from her home segment of Bij Bihara. She took over the reins of the party in 2008, taking the PDP to single largest party status in the 2014 assembly elections. In March 2015, with her father Mufti Muhammad Saeed, the PDP formed the government in JNK in alliance with the BJP. This time though, the BJP's share in the cabinet has increased from 6 to 8 berths and 3 ministers of state. The PDP has 9 cabinet ministers instead of 11 last time. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A day ahead of RBI's first bi-monthly monetary policy review for 2016-17, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley pitched for an easier monetary policy. He argued that high interest rates can make the economy sluggish. Addressing the CII annual session, Jaitley said that the government had stuck to fiscal deficit commitments and kept inflation under control. He hoped that the movement would continue in order to make the economy more competitive with more competitive interest rates. The finance minister also stressed that the debate on crucial economic issues like interest rates should move in the right direction in India. Jaitley also said that issues of persons who depend on interest income like retired professionals could be addressed by pension funds. Now, Congress leader A.K. Antony and Naga People's Front leader K.G. Kenyam were today administered oath as members of the upper house by Chairman Mohammad Hamid Ansari. Antony was re-elected to the Rajya Sabha from Kerala, while Kenyam was elected unopposed from Nagaland. They are among 8 leaders who were re-elected or elected to Rajya Sabha recently. They include Deputy Leader of the Congress in the Rajya Sabha, Anand Sharma from Himachal Pradesh, CPM Leader Jharna Das Baidia from Tripura, JDU MP Virendra Kumar, and CPM MP Soma Prasad K from Kerala, and Rani Nara and Ripun Bora of the Congress from Assam. Time now to take a look at what else has been making news around the country nationwide. The Supreme Court today granted bail to former Delhi University professor G.N. Sai Baba, who was arrested on charges of having links with Maoists. Sai Baba was arrested on the 9th of May 2014 by the Maharashtra government. JDU Chief Sharad Yadav, who served as the party chief for 3 terms, resigned from his post today. He is unlikely to contest for the party's presidency again. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar is all set to lead the party when it elects a new president in its National Council meeting on the 10th of April. A special court sentenced JIPL directors R.S. Rungta and R.C. Rungta to 4 years in jail in the coal scam case. The court also imposed a fine of 5 lakh rupees each and 25 lakh rupees on JIPL Private Limited. A special court on the 28th of March convicted the company and the Rungtas, who were accused of criminal conspiracy and cheating. The Supreme Court today asked the central government to reply in 2 weeks on PIL seeking cancellation of license issued to Ranbaxy Laboratories Limited for allegedly selling substandard drugs in India. Advocate M.L. Sharma said Ranbaxy was fined $500 million by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for manufacturing adulterated drugs. The centre today withdrew its appeal from the Supreme Court against the Allahabad High Court verdict holding Aligarh Muslim University as a non-minority institution. Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi told the Apex Court that he is making statement only on behalf of the centre and not the AMU, which has also filed an appeal. Time for us to take a short break. That's lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
From 91 onwards, we're a much more open economy, and we've benefited from it.
We made a mistake because we should have first had a GST in place.
I mean, an effort was made to put GST in place 5 years ago. What is the lesson? The lesson is let's get it done now. The entrepreneurs very often come to the bank in a Fiat in order to get a loan. Yeah. And then when they need it to be restructured, they come in a Mercedes.
Watch Montek Ahluwalia articulate his views on state of the economy only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, a huge leak of confidential documents from a Panama law firm has revealed how the rich and powerful worldwide use tax havens to hide their wealth. The Indian Express, which was part of an investigation, says it went through over 36,000 files and has revealed around 500 Indian names linked to the Panama law firms whose records were hacked. The government says all unlawful financial holdings abroad will face action. The Special Investigation Team on Black Money will investigate the list.
Forget WikiLeaks. In what is being described as the world's biggest leak, details of offshore accounts of world leaders, celebrities and power players have been divulged. On the list are names as big as Xi Jinping, Nawaz Sharif and Lionel Messi. 500 Indians, including film stars and well-known industrialists, also find mention.
CPM considers this as a very serious revelation. Now, the authenticity of that will have to be established by the government. But this gives an indication why for 2 years the promise made by the Prime Minister during the election campaign that all the black money will be unearthed, but for 2 years nothing has happened.
The question of legality and illegality in the case of each transaction would have to be gone into. Whether somebody has broken the extant laws of the land.
कितने दिन से मुद्दा है जो सरकार बनी है वो सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा नंबर 1 पे तो यही था कि 15 लाख रुपए बाहर से लाएंगे तो उसमें पनामा भी आता है.
The offshore account details are based on documents from the law firm Mossack Fonseca based in Panama. The documents were passed to a German newspaper which then shared them with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. 107 media organizations in 78 countries collaborated in the investigation. The document details how the rich and the powerful allegedly hide assets to avoid taxes or even launder money. The Indian Express says its 8-month investigation of over 36,000 files has revealed around 500 Indian names. However, not all offshore dealings are illegal. Since 2013, Indians have been permitted to set up companies abroad. The law firm has described the release of information as campaign against privacy. Amid the Panama leak, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley warned of action against tax adventurism. He said all unlawful financial holdings abroad will face action.
The world is going to be a far more transparent institution. And therefore, this kind of an adventurism will prove to be extremely costly for those who have indulged in it.
The latest list brings the spotlight back on the NDA government's promise to recover black money stashed abroad. It was one of the biggest election promises made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The migrants sent back from the Greek island of Lesbos began arriving in Turkey on Monday. Their return is under a disputed European Union scheme aimed at closing the main route by which 1 million people poured across the Aegean Sea to Greece in the last year. 66 migrants left on a port to Chios Island on Monday for Turkey. The migrants, mainly from Afghanistan and Pakistan, were accompanied by Frontex officials and left for the town of Dikili in Turkey. Under the EU-Turkey deal, Ankara will take back all migrants and refugees who enter Greece illegally. In return, the EU will take in thousands of Syrian refugees directly from Turkey and also rewarded with more money, early visa-free travel and progress in its EU membership negotiations. The flash floods killed at least 63 people in northwestern Pakistan. In the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 47 people were killed and 37 others were injured as torrential rain toppled houses and caused landslides. Many roads and bridges were swept away by floodwaters in different parts of the province. The Met Department said widespread rains and thunder showers accompanied by strong gusty winds are likely to persist in the western and upper parts of the country for the next 24 hours. Time now for all the sports action in SportsBeat. Pakistan cricketer Shahid Afridi stepped down as the team's T20 captain on Sunday after facing criticism for his captaincy and individual performance in the World T20 tournament. However, Afridi asserted that he would be available for selection as a player in the Pakistan team. Notably, Afridi, who led Pakistan in 43 T20 matches, managed to win 19 games. Novak Djokovic beat Kei Nishikori in straight sets to win the Miami Open for a record-equaling 6th time. The world #1 matched Andre Agassi's Miami tally with a 6-3, 6-3 triumph in 1 hour and 26 minutes. Djokovic also becomes the first man to win the Indian Wells Miami double 3 years in a row and surpasses Roger Federer as ATP's leading prize money winner. Germany's Nico Rosberg romped to his 5th win in a row for Mercedes ahead of Ferrari's Kimi Raikkonen and pole position holder Lewis Hamilton, who finished 2nd and 3rd. Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel was eliminated on the warm-up lap itself as his car reportedly spit molten metal. Rosberg has won both races of the season and leads the driver's standings with 50 points. Manchester United defeated Everton 1-0 in the Premier League on Sunday. Anthony Martial's 8th goal of the season was also United's 1,000th Premier League goal scored at Old Trafford, thereby becoming the first team to score 1,000 home goals. The club also celebrated the 60th anniversary of Sir Bobby Charlton's association with the Reds by renaming a stand after him. That's all from us. Goodbye.